Hey buddies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today we're checking out the 9 worst coworkers to ever exist by Manta Animates. Shout out to more Black Storytime animators. I love it. Links down below to become a patron to get the uncut reaction of all the shows and anime we check out, just like Lido _ Devontae Slater, Derek Wibba, Luca Demon, and Dr. Monokuma 2. Links down below, like I said. Now let's get started.
I tell you, these are the worst coworkers on the planet. I mean, these people shaped the way I interacted with the world. Their insanity was unavoidable. They're a canon event. If I didn't cross paths with these people, I would be better for it. But y'all wouldn't have a video, so...
I clap it up. I clap it up.
Let's talk about it.
Because
Devin and
so
Samantha.
true.
Back when I was a lifeguard, me and Devin were really close friends. That being said, when it was just me and Devin, Devin wasn't a problem. But when Samantha came into the picture, Devin became a problem. Eventually, he became a lead lifeguard. And with that, it came with, you know, like my own benefits. He would put us both on easy chores, which was much appreciated. But with that, he would confide in me a lot about his relationship. And Samantha did a lot, but the worst that she's done is cheat. One day he came to me and was like, I don't know how to feel about this man. I think she's cheating on me. And the next day, she's definitely cheating on me, dude. I confirmed it. Then we broke up. Like, I don't even want to talk to her. I know she's on the shift right now, but like I can't even see her right now.
Gosh.
One day later.
Oh dear.
You know, we're back together. We smoothed it over.
No. It is a big deal.
What are you talking about? This is how I learned that she's crazy. She's crazy for her. And they're locked in. Lead guards got to choose the lineup. And he would put the two of them on break together, which was fine until it wasn't. They started coming out 20, 30, 40 minutes late on top of the 20 minutes that they already got. Hour-long breaks are crazy. Had every lifeguard in there
for a
on
lifeguard.
The downfall. One day, on one of those 60-minute breaks, they both went into the supply closet. That's fine. Nothing crazy. But
we know that they're doing.
And that's a long time to be in
we
the supply closet.
We know what they doing in there.
And what they saw will not be explained because I don't want this video to get flagged. Needless to say, our boss found out. They were fired the next day. Unfortunately, I never heard from Devin again. Now, Samantha. Samantha's a different breed. To make the list twice is crazy. Around the same time that her and Devin got caught, there was a lot of money going missing. And I was carrying $40 to $60 in my wallet. That never went missing. This is why you're friendly with everybody, okay? I fully believe my money didn't get stolen because I had a close friendship with Devin. And Samantha knew that. But what did go missing was like $500 altogether.
Wait, really?
From one person. That's like 2 weeks worth of work for somebody in high school. And she was pissed for months. Every single day.
And what, that chick was stealing the money?
Got stolen. Praying on somebody to fess up. Obviously, nobody's going to. But coming up on the day that Samantha got fired, we happened to have an extra lifeguard that day, which means there was always 3 people on break at a time. Now, while Devin was out talking to me, the other lifeguard that was on break noticed that Samantha was standing over by the lockers a little bit too much. Going through 1, 2, maybe 3 bags. Now, they of course didn't think anything of it. But as soon as Samantha got fired, and it had been like a week or 2 since money's gone missing, the dots connected. And
this chick was stealing the money?
Sooner, knowing these people, they would have got after it.
Right, they should have. I wish they had known.
Practice it. Say with me. Sign my receipt, please. Go do your fucking job.
Oh, I gotta hear. I gotta hear.
Of the term asshole.
But hold on. When he said canon event, I've had coworker experiences that I will never forget. Formidable. Okay. Past my formidable years, formidable memories that did affect how I interacted with people in the world.
He's a prick,
Phrased it perfectly.
I'll hate him until the day I die. We're gonna call him RB because for me, he was literal walking rage bait. Also, calling him RB just because we have the same name, and I hate the fact that I have to share this name with him. Moving on. This is back when I was a server at this one restaurant. I just turned 21 and I was just about to move to California. I was just there to try to stack up some cash before the move. Whenever I saw him, my day got a little bit worse. Whenever everybody else on staff saw him, he made everybody's day a little bit worse.
He's one of those
kiss
guys.
Up to the managers and talk down to everybody else. He just happened to be one of the lead servers at the time, which only boosted his ego. At the end of the day, everybody has to
big egos in little towns
and then turn those into the lead server. Once they sign, you can turn it into the manager, get your money, leave. The other lead server is preoccupied for obvious reasons, and me and RB don't hate each other yet. All I know is that everybody else hates him. That day, I was having a particularly bad day because I had literally been there for 4 hours and only made like $35 because nobody wants to come in and grab a bite to eat on a Thursday afternoon. Horrible shift, never worked it again. But that made me particularly pissed. Oftentimes, the leads don't even check whether your job's been done or not. They just trust you, sign it, and get you out of there. I pass him the receipt, something I've done 100 times. He takes it and is like,
you know, Manta, you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see you use big boy words. Can you use big boy words for me? When you hand me something, I don't know what you're handing me. It could be anything. So just say, hey, can you sign my receipt, please?
Why would you call it
with me.
big
sign
boy
my receipt,
words?
Please. Because honestly, we're supposed to be checking that you did your closing job. Should I go check your closing job?
Go do your fucking job. How about we both be adults
and
use context clues to figure out what this piece of paper that I give you
or you could just
is. You are a 30-year-old
It is the same paper every day.
Is 21. Do your job. This is what I wish I had said. Not gonna lie, he had literally a total of 10 seconds to sign that receipt before we're both getting fired. I've hit my breaking point. I'm getting ready to move. I do not care. He handed it back to me. I gave it right back to him. But I was way too defeated to even muster words. So it kind of just came out as, then go look. Because I'm just not gonna settle for the disrespect. He disrespects everybody in here. And a lot of these people are too nervous to really say something back. And if
it's a good feeling when you have a job and you're like, I don't really need this.
I also probably wouldn't have dished it back. But on today of all days, I was open to a little bit more than words, if you know what I mean. He took the receipt, went and checked my area. I came with him to make sure that he didn't mess my shit up. He pointed out the tiniest little specks. You're weird, you're weird, you're a fucking weirdo. Nobody likes you. That's not what I said. Signed my paper and left. And thankfully, eventually, he left. And I had never been happier. Everybody else that worked there, never been happier. Moral of the story:
hilarious.
Being a dick isn't as big of a flex as you think it is. Stop
especially
being weird.
Right.
This older lady.
Now, here's the thing. Where I can understand if someone just comes to you at the end of the shift and just hands you a paper and you'd rather them say something to you. There's a different way to handle it. Be like, hey, can you just, say, hey, or something, some words? Because I'm not gonna lie. If I'm the lead supervisor or whatever, and you just come and you just hand me the thing for me to sign, you don't say nothing to me. I don't like that. Okay. But I will be like, all right, at least just say, hey, say my name. Like, hey, here's my receipt. Something, versus it was degrading for him to say, use your big boy words. That's very condescending, extremely condescending.
I think she wanted to fuck me. Not my favorite experience, both job-wise and human being-wise. This lady had to have been in late 20s, early 30s. I was freshly 18. I was really just in this weird limbo period between signing up for the military and actually going to basic training. And I needed a job. I needed to get a little bit of money. I was unfortunately given a job in this warehouse where I just put stickers on boxes. I have quite literally never been more depressed. I'd clock in, put stickers on boxes, go to lunch alone, go back to putting stickers on boxes, and then clock out. Didn't talk to anybody.
I'm not gonna lie.
Didn't associate with anybody. This lady came in.
I'm interested in that. How much is that job?
Friends, I guess.
She would confide in me about how her baby daddy's on the run. It was a whole thing. I
on the run?
Reality, and she just liked to yap. On my last day of work, 2 weeks before I go to the military, she catches me outside and is like, blah, blah, blah. How am I gonna reach you? Do you have Facebook? And I'm like, no. Not really a social media person, later. And then she started getting really, really not okay. She went into great detail about weird fantasies involving us. I did not rock with that. I proceeded to make a joke, dip out, and then put this memory all the way in the back of my mind where the little vault is.
Oh, that
Opened
is...
it up, tossed it inside, never to be remembered again until I started making this video. Speaking of which, that's enough of that. Put that back in the vault.
Hilarious.
This salesman world
that is a unique situation.
I've ever worked. I worked for this company that I'm not gonna name.
Maybe she thought that she would never see you again, so that way she was like, okay, I can tell you that I've had these fantasies about you. But it's a sticky situation. Woman, you about to give birth, okay? You know what? In her defense, as a pregnant woman, your hormones are going everywhere, okay? They're going everywhere, all right? Her baby daddy's on the run for whatever reason, and you are a guy that was listening, spending time with her. So she just attached those things to you. So maybe she thought I could just tell you and it would be cool. But what were these dark fantasies? Because that's the thing. What were the fantasies? That's what I want to know. What were the exact? I need those details. Because we need our own. Well, can you make a video about that? I don't know. I don't want you to get canceled. But I want to know what were the fantasies. Let me know.
slight embarrassment. But I will tell you that this company made a lot of content and made a lot of sales. I was on the content side, making next to nothing. And one of my coworkers, who happened to be the CEO's son, we're gonna call him Preston, was on the sales side. Preston wasn't happy because his sales manager basically existed. He didn't like the fact that he worked in that company for 5 years, and then they hired this guy within the last 6 months, and he's hired as the lead sales associate. Bro would be coming in and ranting on and on about how much he deserves it. And I can see it in like some aspect. He said that he had a higher closing rate, been part of the business for longer. Meanwhile, the other guy had 20 plus years in sales and loves to kiss ass. This went on for literal months. I'm watching these two sabotage each other at every given turn. Preston's going all the way up the chain
that's
to
so
make this guy
annoying
look bad,
when they sabotage each other.
His dad course corrected his son and pushed him to the side. Preston was not deterred even a little bit. The funniest and most blatant bit of sabotage was when the company actually ended up moving all the way across the US. Packed up everybody that was able to come and leaving me basically without a job, which also basically kind of forced me to move home. The entire team that was moving over there made the decision to live in the same expensive ass apartment building on the water. And for days, these two are both calling the apartment building, trying to figure out which one's the best apartment. And Johnny, the lead sales rep, sells Preston on a room that he thinks is inadequate. Preston calls the apartment and is like, yo, how's this room? Is it good? And they're like, yeah, it's literally the greatest. A couple days later, Johnny's like, yo, I made a mistake. I really feel like you'd like this room better. On the top floor, beautiful view. Preston calls and is like, how's this room? And the lady's like, you won't like it nearly as much as you like yours. Ultimately, I didn't really give a shit because I'm trying to make rent, and it was slightly frustrating dealing with people who are making what I make in a month, but it's always kind of funny watching snakes eat their own tails. The military,
and they were like complaining to each other, or complaining to him about it.
Fine for the most part. Get out of here and make me a sandwich.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
All my coworkers who were under the age of 30 were fine. I feel like older military guys need to be like suspended in time. Their brains can't think of new ways to tell jokes, so they just regurgitate the same shit over and over again. And somehow, inside the little bubble, it always lands. It's crazy. The best 3 jokes that older military people have always revolve around Marines and crayons, Air Force and privilege, and women and household duties. That is it. That's
Marines
the
and
bar
crayons.
Is literally in the depths of hell.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah?
No, are you kidding me? That was ass. Bro, ain't nobody laughing at that.
There's a certain
Marines
mindset
and
that
crayons?
comes with the military
Let me
as
know.
you get
Let me
into
know.
it. I think for a lot of military members, they kind of just coerce themselves into thinking that this is their peak. They will never get better than this. The military is the end-all be-all. They could try other things, but honestly, this is comfortable. Why would you fix something if the broken thing works? I was talking to the staff sergeant at the time. I think I had signed the contract
kind of
like
explains
2
some
months ago.
mindset.
He's kind of mentoring me and like a couple others. It's actually like a really wholesome experience. I was telling him about how I wanted to like really get into like art and creating and animation. Like I knew from the start that the military was not for me. And he was like, huh, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. I don't really tell anybody this, but I also do art. He showed me his art and I was like, wow, like this is actually incredible. He was like, yeah, I did this like about 8 years ago now. Wow, time really flies. But this was my last piece. See, unlike you, I didn't join until I was 25. And all the way up until I was 25, I was just lazy, making art in my parents' basement, trying to see if it could take me somewhere, but ultimately this never led anywhere. So I ended up submitting this into a little contest. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, this will be my last piece. I never actually submitted it.
No.
Ended up talking to a recruiter the next month, and the rest is history. Never picked up a pen again. Art just kind of became something that I did in the past. To be honest with you, I have no idea where I'd be if I kept doing art, but chances are I'd probably be 35, still living in my mama's basement. But yeah, man, that's my story. What do you think?
No.
If there's a moment that made me realize that the military was not for me, this was it.
Okay.
Fuck that shit, man. The very last
you want to
worst
do
coworkers
something
that
else
I've ever worked with is oh shit, it's me.
Makes
sense. When I'm not doing things that help me hit my creative goals, and instead I'm like trading my time for money, I hate existing. From a distance, I'm chilling, but if you're perceptive enough, you'll see that I'm walking around like a hollowed out shell. And that is a dangerous place to be.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's
when
very
I go into work,
dangerous.
I genuinely don't remember what happens. That's how hard I tune out. Not healthy, not gonna lie.
Not at all.
The healthiest stuff.
No,
people
not
at work
at
will
all.
be trying to have like a genuine conversation about like what my interests are and like what I do outside of work, and I genuinely feel like I'm talking about somebody else. Like I was force-fed this information. Like I'm spitting out facts I got from the perpetuity.
Oh, because you're
wing.
disconnected.
Like, your Audi likes
for
art.
doing
That's cool, like digital? Or are we talking like canvases? See, like a cool
and the
panorama?
candle.
Shut up. Points will be deducted if you talk.
Right.
Your Audi Destroyed his knee playing basketball. 10 points deducted. For a 20 points deducted.
Right. I like
Your
the Severance
Audi is kind of a
reference.
bitch.
Whoa. Well,
10 points deducted. So yeah, I guess that's what I do.
I love the Severance reference.
Okay. Cool. That's a weird fucking guy over there. Holy
Yikes.
shit. Prime example as to why I'm the worst coworker. At the warehouse, I already mentioned it. Didn't associate with a single soul. I was too depressed to connect with anybody.
This seems like a good job to me.
Animation, and I was like really getting into it. It messed my whole mind up, knowing that I signed up for the military against my best interests. And on top of that, I'm working this pointless job instead of just trying to become a professional doodler. No, sounded way better in my.
Ooh, so. Well, I'm not going to, there's no pause. I'm not going to pause that. I understand this mindset where it's one of those things where you have the talent and the zest to do something, but you, out of fear or whatever reason, do something else, and how it F's with your mental health because you're like not obeying your path, your zest, your creativity. And that happens a lot. Like if you close up in a box somewhere else and instead of following that zest and that passion, it does affect your mental health for sure. I get it. That's why he was surprised working this job. Because this job sounds pretty cool to me.
I swear I'm cool. In the military, I was literally the worst enemy to ever exist ever. At least for the guys that got in trouble, like they were authentically themselves. They don't care. That's the real them. Me, I might be the fakest coworker to ever walk this earth. I gave the appearance that I gave a shit, but internally, I'm editing my next video.
Hilarious.
I didn't retain a single bit of information while I was there. This sounds kind of sad, but I literally disassociated through at least
extreme
70%
disassociation.
of 2019. I feel like I basically didn't even exist for most of that year. In 2019, my innie was basically the real me. I literally only gained sentience when I was working out, eating food, and editing videos. That's it. But seriously though, if
and
you ask
that's
me to
the
fix
chip turning on and off.
I'm looking up a YouTube video, bro. I
Hilarious.
Really can't. Ooh, hold on. I get it now. I get it. Ooh, I get it. She gonna go with me. I get it. No. Passion
Hilarious.
will be the worst thing that ever happens to you. Having passion literally makes every normal job feel meaningless. Like if you're trying to be in the NBA, right? Reffing kids games are probably gonna make you lose your mind. It's like watching other people live your dream, knowing damn well that you've torn every single ligament in your knee, and there's borderline no way you could ever get it. But
you see them crying?
So it's kind of masochism. That's self-harm. Look at that. I need therapy. I literally hate doing anything that doesn't require me to focus, use any part of my brain, or if I'm just straight up disinterested. My mom would be like, go work at Costco. You need something mindless with benefits.
Oh,
and that's
wow.
like, hey man, at least the military is available. No,
oh, wow.
Because I know that the vault cracks open when you're not focused. I can't have that again.
Oh,
Been there.
you
Done that. Don't
you
wanna
have some
do it.
things to deal with, my dear.
Anomaly back in 2020, and I don't plan on going back. You know,
you have
feeling pretty sane, all things considered, right now.
Thanks,
though. So yeah, passion ruined any chances of me being content with any mindless job, and that's probably got to be the sole reason why I'm the worst coworker. Hey, keep this between you and me.
All right.
I hope my next employer never sees this vid. Gonna have to keep my channel on the down low.
Hilarious.
Can't let this get out. At least until I can get this coffee shop up and running this year, which is a random spoiler. You weren't supposed to know that.
Oh.
Okay, bye.
Are you making a coffee shop? Because that's super cool. That is super cool. Because that's something that I kind of want to do. But yeah, that's really cool that you want to do a coffee shop. You gotta dive into the vault and organize, process, clean out the things in the vault. All right. If therapy helps you with that, making these videos might help you with that. Just processing that will help you. So that's my suggestion. I love his art style. I love his storytelling. One thing I do wish is that with each of these moments, maybe take like 3 of them instead of like the long list and dive in with more details. Because there was like 9, right? Take like 3 of them and dive in with more details. Like the fantasy one. I think we got the most details from the lifeguard situation. And the rest were a lot shorter of details. But I was like, ooh, I'm interested. And then we were on to the next thing. So that's the only tidbit I have. But I'm excited for your journey and what you decide to write and draw and continue to tell as far as stories. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Links down below to become a patron to get the uncut reaction on all the shows and anime we check out. I love you guys as always. And until next time, buddies. Toodles.